Welcome to LC Yoga. This is Laura, and today's practice is a slow flow. We're going to slow it down and take our time. I traveled for work this week, and so between the stress of travel, especially these days, and just meetings upon meetings, it's been a long week. And so we're slowing it down, taking it easy. Listen to your body, make the adjustments that you need. But the idea here is that we'll move a little in a sort of a swimming wave like fashion in a lot of places, and just to get the energy moving through the body so that it can release. And by the end of practice, we will have relaxed the tissues and freed ourselves from whatever is going on up here. So, thanks for joining me today. If you're ready, get on your mat and we'll get started. We'll begin today facing the side of the mat. Feet can be a little wider than hip distance apart, not too wide, not too close together. Knees can be slightly bent. Let the hands drape to the side and close the eyes. And we're just going to start by breathing. Take a deep breath in through the nose and let your rib cage expand in all directions, front to back, side to side, up and down. And let that out through an open mouth. Let's do that again. Breathe in, 3D breath. And let it out through an open mouth. And let's keep doing that and let the hands join in. So let the hands rise up a little. And as you breathe out, let them float down. Breathing in, scoop the air, scoop the chi up. Hands about shoulder height, and then flip the palms and let them come down. You can do that with the mouth open or closed. And just keep breathing like that. 3D breath, the walls of the rib cage going out in all directions. And you can just feel it releasing as you exhale. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, open mouth. Make a sound. Let the hands fall to the sides. Eyes stay closed. Just a couple more breaths here. Now let's step the feet a little bit wider. We're coming into a wide-legged forward fold. So you can begin with hands on the hips, bend the knees, and just let the spine kind of ripple down. Hands can land on the floor, maybe on the feet, the ankles. Maybe you're up here on the knees. Up to you. We're going to work towards straightening the legs, but they don't have to straighten. You can have the hands on the floor with the palms pressing. But this is our first forward fold, so we're not going for the deepest stretch here. We're just getting started, so breathe into the backs of the legs. Let the head fall like a ripe coconut. And as the body lets you in, as you're breathing, you may be able to straighten the legs a little more. Last breath here. Make it expansive. And on your next inhale, kind of walk the hands forward so the arms are straight. And let the weight come into the legs so that you can place the hands on the hips and come on up to stand. Turn the right foot out to the right and maybe let the feet go a little bit further apart. Arms float up into a T shape and you're in warrior two. Now let the legs move away from each other. So maybe place the hands on each thigh and just sort of gently push them away. Get a nice stretch in the inner groin. Get your ujjayi breath going. So as you're breathing, slight constriction in the back of the neck. If it feels good, maybe even moving with the breath, letting the legs straighten slightly and then bending. Arms can stay still, maybe float them up and down like wings. And straighten the leg. And let's just take that to the other side, warrior two. And as you're breathing ujjayi, sounds like an ocean inside. And that's kind of our little theme today. We're just going to swim through practice. Pressing the thighs apart. Get that stretch. And come on back to center. Let's take it back over to the right side. Just for a sip of warrior two and then reverse warrior. So let the left hand go down the left leg, right hand up. Two breaths there, and then bend the right elbow so the hand comes to the upper back, right, base of the neck. And then grab a hold of that elbow with the left hand. And let's just enhance the stretch that way. Breathing into the side waist. One more time, reverse warrior. Now we're going to humble warrior. So interlace the fingers behind your back. Let the shoulder blades move onto the back closer together. And then fold forward toward your front leg so that you're kind of in front of the bent leg. And just let the weight of the arms stretch out the shoulders. One more breath here. And come on back up to stand and face the front or the side of your mat. Let's take that to the other side. So warrior two, arms float up as you inhale. And exhaling. Reverse warrior as you breathe in. Again, these can be mobile. You don't have to stay still if it feels better to move. Maybe grabbing a hold of that elbow. Letting the torso turn up toward the sky. And reverse warrior again, reaching up. And interlace the fingers behind the back, folding toward the left leg, humble warrior. Sink into the left hip as the arms reach forward and away. On your next breath, come on up to stand and face the side of your mat again. Now let's go to the front of the mat. Hands frame the left foot and step it back into a downward dog. And breathe in your dog here. Feel free to pedal the feet. Lengthen one leg and then the other. Come up on the tippy toes as you breathe in. And as you exhale, work the heels toward the mat. They don't have to touch. If you're feeling tighter, knees can be bent. As you inhale, let the chin come toward the chest and come forward as you sort of ripple the spine into a upward dog. Stay on the toe mounds. And exhaling, pull it back into downward dog. Let's do that again. Ripple the spine forward. And exhale back, downward dog. One more time. Come forward. And exhale, pull it back. On your next inhale, let the right leg lift up toward the sky, high. And reach it as high as it'll go. And then exhaling, step it forward and lower the left knee to the earth. Inhaling, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, let the hands come down in front of the heart. And you can rest the hands on the front thigh. And we're just going to work into the front of the left thigh and psoas muscle. So press your left hip forward. If you want a little more, you can sweep the arms up. You can arch back, or you can stay with the hands on the thigh. Maybe even reach back with your right hand to your left thigh. Next inhale, come forward and bring the hands to the floor on the inside of the right foot. You can scoot that foot over to the right. So we're in a lizard pose. Now in lizard, you can stay with arms straight or lower down to the elbows if that feels good. Just breathing into the hip. You can even, with a flexed foot, let that leg fall out to the right. Just keeping the spine long and only doing what feels good. Don't do it for the sake of what it looks like. Now come on, walk the hands back up. If you went down onto elbows, and bend the left knee. If that doesn't feel good, that's too much, just leave the leg long and hang out here in lizard. Otherwise, we're going to take a little bit of a back bend by grabbing that foot and just bending back. Going to kick the head back. Open the shoulder and the chest. And release the foot if you grabbed it. Plant the hands and we'll come on back into a downward dog. Same flow next side. So lift the left leg up as you inhale. Take a couple of breaths here as you let that leg go higher. And then exhale, step it forward into a lunge and lower the right knee down. Come on up and sweep the arms up. Hands in prayer in front of the heart. Hands to the front thigh. And remember, push that right hip forward. And as you do that, you just get so much more out of the pose. The front foot and back knee are sort of working toward each other. Arms can come up, maybe bending back a little. Maybe the hand to the back of the thigh. And as you exhale, the next time, come forward into lizard. Scoot the left foot out to the left. And you can stay here with straight arms, breathing into that hip. Maybe coming down on the elbows, only if you've got a good reason why. With a flexed foot, the leg can turn out toward the left. If you want to add that back arch, come on back up, bend the right knee, and grab a hold of that foot, sweeping the head over to the right and up. And let go of the foot if you grabbed it. Plant the hands, and we'll come on back into a downward dog. A few more times, we're going to ripple the spine like a wave into upward dog. And exhaling, pull it back, downward dog. Inhale, ripple forward. And exhale, pull it back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Now lower the knees to the earth and come sit back on the heels. Palms face up, close the eyes. We're just taking that in, absorbing. Now let the hands come down, fingertips can touch the floor. And we're just going to get into the neck a little bit. So you can let the neck come forward. And then roll it over to your right shoulder. Turn the head up or down. If you need to get into the different muscles of the neck, we're just stretching it out. And then roll the head forward one more time and then over to the left. Same thing, turning head up or down, just exploring and finding the stretch that you need. And roll it forward. Now come on over to the right again. We're going to kind of do this with the breath. Inhaling to the right. And exhaling to the left. Inhale right. And exhale left. Now let the head come down to center and then lift it up. And plant the hands forward. And step the feet back. We're going to come all the way down onto the belly. And as you inhale, come into just sort of a gentle cobra. Just lifting the chest just slightly. And then exhale, come down. Inhale up, maybe coming up a little further. Exhaling down. Inhale up. And exhale down. Bend the knees and grab a hold of the ankles. And on your next inhale, begin to lift the feet up, gathering the knees toward the center. Bow pose. One more deep breath in. And exhale, release. Stack the palms and rest the forehead. Maybe wiggle the hips. And we're going to do that one more time. Grab a hold of the ankles and gather the knees in. Inhaling, rise up. Neck is long. Looking at the floor, kind of down the bridge of your nose. And exhale. This time, come into a full prone position. So arms reach out in front of you, palms up, forehead to the floor. And bring the palms under the shoulders. And we're going to lift up into a cobra. And then we're going to release with the right arm and stretch it forward. And out to the side. In toward the ribs. And out front again. So inhale front, out toward the side as you're exhaling. Inhale front, exhale around the side and down by the ribs. One more time, inhale front, out toward the right. And bring the palm down. Bring the forehead to the earth just for a second. And then inhale up, reaching the right hand forward. As you exhale, it comes around toward the side and in toward the ribs. Inhale front, out toward the side. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, rotate it. One more time. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring both palms in front, stack them, and rest the forehead. Release the back muscles, wiggle the hips. On your next breath in, come on up onto the knees. Walk them forward and come into a seated position. Right leg out in front, left foot to the inner thigh, coming into Janu. So plant the heel, knee bent, and pull the hip back. Start to come forward to your own degree. I like to grab the foot or reach over to the side just because it adds a nice little stretch to the left lower back and side waist. Breathing into the back of the right leg. And on your next inhale, come on up to sit. Plant the left hand behind you, and we're going to sweep up onto the knee and stargazer. So it's a bit of a back arch, only if the shoulder feels good. And come on back to front. Let's switch sides. Left leg out in front, right foot in. Plant the heel, pull the hip back. Spine is long. And start to walk it forward. Your next inhale, come on up to sit. This time plant the right hand, sweep it up onto the knee and back. And come on back down. And roll down onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a nice little squeeze. Bring the feet to the floor, bottoms of the feet together, knees out to the side in a Supta Baddha Konasana. Now here you can leave the hands on the thighs, or you can let them flop open to your sides. Just opening the hips and releasing the lower back. On your next inhale, start to walk the feet so that knees come up. And walk the feet to the edges of the mat and let the knees knock together. And bring the feet back, bottoms of the feet on the floor. And we're going to twist now. So choose your own twist. You can bring the knees into the chest and let the knees fall over to the right. Arms out into a T shape. If you're into wrapping the legs, go ahead and do that. Either way, left shoulder stays on the floor. And you can help that by pressing the right shoulder into the floor. No tweaking in the back. We're just looking for a nice stretch. And breathe into the outer hip. Nice deep release. On your next inhale, come on up to center and do the same on the other side, whether you're dropping the knees to the left or wrapping the legs. Look right. Press left shoulder. Close the eyes and just feel. Next inhale, unwrap the legs. If you unwrapped them, come on up to center. Let the legs flop open about the width of the mat. Feet flop open. Hands out to the side, palms up. And just let the muscles release into the floor. And let the earth hold you up. Shavasana is where we begin to absorb the practice, what the body has learned. And it is the practice of letting the muscles release and relaxing. And when you practice often, so Shavasana is sort of the end of practice, the thing that makes it yoga. As we train the body to release and relax. It's a skill that will serve you even when you're trying to go to sleep. Or you're in a stressful situation. The body has learned grace under pressure. And when you're ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. And let it out through the mouth. Start to bend the knees and let the bottoms of the feet come to the floor. Bring the hands to the upper thighs. Bring the knees into the chest. Give them a little squeeze. And roll on up to sit. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Maybe sitting up on something if it's more comfortable. Maybe half lotus, if that feels good. Backs of the hands to the knees. Thumb and forefinger touch. Close the eyes. Now to close practice, let's just return to that 3D breath. We're feeling the rib cage going forward and back, side to side, and even up and down. And let it out through an open mouth. Keep doing that. Bring the hands in prayer in front of the heart. Bow the head slightly. And bring the tips of the forefingers to the third eye. Thank you for joining me today. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to serve your body and mind. Namaste.